The Mystery of Grand Villa Library, written by Troy Goff, illustrated by Stephen Martis. Prologue. Sometimes the best things in life are hidden from us, and they will not appear unless we search them out. But if we notice the clues around us and never give up our search, life mysteries will reveal their secret to us. This is the story of Daniel and his friend, who discovered such a mystery. The Mystery of Graneville Library. King Arthur clue. Hey Daniel, I found it, Yuri whispered urgently. Are you sure? Daniel asked. Yeah, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. That's the one, isn't it? Yuri asked. Yes, that is. Let me see. Daniel answered. Daniel, Yuri, and Ben met. Were searching the Grand Villa Library scholarly style after class ended for the day. They were always looking for new books to read, but today Daniel was looking for a book that Yuri must get it. She knew that Daniel would like the story of King Arthur, which were full of knights, castles, battles, and honor. Excellent, Yuri, thank you. Daniel said as he took the book from his friend's hands. I'm going to look through this. I'll meet you guys a bit later. Yuri and Bennett headed off to the new book section of the library. They were always reading, each with their own interests. Daniel had met Yuri and Bennett at the public library when his grandfather had brought him for a story hour. The three boys had been best friends ever since. Daniel sat at one of the tables and placed his new trousseau in front of him. The book's cover was faded to reddish brown with it, and the title had nearly disappeared. When he opened it, a faint smell of dust and ink emerged, like a closet full of newspaper on a warm day. Daniel flipped the first page aside until he read the copyright date. He always liked to know when a book was published. Wow, he whispered to himself. 1995, 1999. That was the year Daniel's grandfather started teaching at Granville. Daniel turned on a page to the table of contents. As he scanned down the list of the chapter titles, he was surprised to see the message, lightly hand-written in pencil along the binding. The message read, "Do all nations impose equal laws?" At first, Daniel thought a poor student had scribbled in the book during class. As he looked closer at the message, a familiar pattern appeared. Since Daniel had learned to read, he had played words named cross puzzle, word finds, and especially acrostic, where the first letter of series of words spell out a new word. Daniel reread the message and saw a new meaning. His name. Do all nations impose equal laws? His vision shifted, taking the rest of the page. Another handwritten message appeared in tiny letters along the right edge of the page. If this message speaks to you, think of your birthday. Birthday and family trees. Daniel heard footsteps behind him. Daniel, how's the book? Bennett quietly asked, walking up beside him with a cup of pop in his hand. You guys, look this, Daniel whispered. Yuri and Bennett leaned close to look at the page. Big deal, Yuri said. So someone wrote in a library book. It's not the name of the word. It could be Mr. Montoya Colton. Bennett chuckled softly. As Granville librarian, Mr. Montoya strictly enforced the rule, which the boy knew from talking too loud about books they'd done. No, look closer at the message, Daniel urged, as his friend crowded around him. Daniel showed them the acrostic spelling out his name. Then he pointed the message at the bottom. So what do you think? Well, what's your birthday? Yuri answered, January 12th. Daniel responded. They all looked at the table of contents to see any sign of Daniel's birthday, but nothing seemed to matter. Daniel took out a pen and paper and began making notes to himself. A moment later, he dropped the pen. I think I have it. Shh! Yuri warned, looking for Mr. Montoya. What is it? He asked quietly. Forget the word January. Daniel said, look what happened if I just get my birthday in numbers 111. Yuri and Bennett saw that chapter 4 began on page 111. Nodding to his friend, Daniel quickly flipped the yellow pages to 111. The boy scanned the page for a message. Here, Daniel whispered, pointing to neat, tiny handwriting, this time at the top of the page. Daniel turned the book so his friend could easily read the message. This message was longer and green as a poem. What do you think of this? Daniel asked. It doesn't make any sense right now, Pomade replied. I have an idea, Diana said. Let's each copy the poem down and take it home tonight. We'll meet here tomorrow at the same time and compare notes. Getting the rules of matter. Right after class, Daniel, Yuri, and Bennett gathered around the family library table and pulled out their pen. Man, I thought about this riddle for hours last night, Yuri complained, shaking his head. Me too, Bennett agreed. So what did you come up with? He asked Yuri. Well, I kept thinking about the word romance and family tree. The only romance in a family tree would be between the parents, right? He asked, so I decided that the main branches of the tree would be the parent. I thought the same thing, agreed Bennett, but what about the lie about branches? Names are similar in whatever country that tree grow. I think the key is the word romance. Dan offered, but not a dating sim. What do you mean? Bennett asked. The word romance in the poem is capitalized, Dano said. Do you remember what my grandfather taught at Granville? That's right, Yuri said, quietly snapping his finger. He taught Roman languages, Latin, French, Italian, and Spanish. Dano continued. They are called Romance languages because they share similar structures. That would explain why in the poem the branches' names are similar in different countries. Yeah, Yuri said, you're right. The word for mother and father in those languages are nearly the same. Mater, mere, and matter for mother, and parte, peri, and pater for father. Right, Daniel agreed. So then I noticed a line about the root of the tree in father names. The root of all Romance languages is Latin. Poetic interrupt. Exactly, Daniel answered. So I think the answer is riddle is the Latin root for the word father. The word pater sounds like the answer to the riddle. Yuri said, the question is, Bennett said, what does pater have to do with the mystery? Who is pater? The three friends came up with nothing on the word pater. Finally, they decided to ask the librarian, Mr. Montoya. After all, they reasoned, the reader was in the secret, a secret in the library. However, they agreed not to tell Mr. Montoya about the old method. He would not appreciate grading in books even if it was a puzzle to solve. Mr. Montoya told the boy of a farmer called the Reminiscence by a writer named Walter Paper. It was about the greatest painters and poets at the end of the Middle Ages, and the library had a copy of the book. Anxious to find the Reminiscence, the three went to the library, computerized book catalog. They tapped in the title, The Renaissance, and sure enough, found a book written by Walter Pater. Noting the location, They started over the cell where the book should be and began scanning now for the net to appear. Here it is, Panic whispers excitedly. Yuri and Daniel rushed over. Bennett pulled the book from the cell, then looked it over and silently mentioned. Seeing nothing the outside the book, Daniel told Bennett to open up the table contents that lay before. Pencil and handwriting. This time they found no words. However, they did notice one chapter titled in pencil. The title was called Andrea Del Star.